So for those of you who don't know, we stream all of these on YouTube so the parents can watch your coaches say some really nice things about you. So shameless plug to like and subscribe to the Athletic Roundtable YouTube page. My name is Brian Cornett. I'm the president of the Santa Barbara Athletic Roundtable. So yes, thank you all for joining us today. We've got kind of a light crowd, but more enchiladas for the rest of us. So for those of you who don't know, the Athletic Roundtable has been around for 57 years, and we've been hosting luncheons in this very room that entire time, whether we're 80 deep or 30 deep. So let's get a round of applause for Harry's Plaza. In addition to our luncheons, we also host a number of other community events, including our March Madness event, which takes place the day after Selection Sunday. That's our annual fundraiser, which we just had recently, as well as our Women in Sports Luncheon, which we host every February in celebration of Title IX. Coming up, we will have our Evening with the Athletes event at the Marjorie Luke Theater on June 1st, and that's where we're going to crown our Athletes of the Year for your respective sports. And then we also just announced our Hall of Fame class for 2026. And so that event will take place on September 14th at the Cabrillo Pavilion. So lots going on with the roundtable. Before we go any further, I just want to recognize our luncheon sponsors. We have Mayho Prentice. Let's give them a round of applause. Fidelity National Title Group. And Investec. So between those three sponsors, we're able to honor over 1,000 student athletes each year, so we're incredibly grateful for them. Also to our membership, our members really are what keep us going. I saw Jeff McCune is here, one of our Founders Circle members. Let's give him a round of applause. Parents, if you want to join us in celebrating and honoring our local student athletes, you can log on to SBART.org after the luncheon, or come find me after the luncheon, and we can get you set up. And then, last but not least, I want to thank our local media. We have Diego Sandoval, News Hawk Sports, Victor Bryant, Santa Barbara Independent, and Mike Klan, KUIT Sports. So with that, I'm going to welcome up Diego Sandoval to do our Athletes of the Week.
Hello, great to see everyone as always. We're going to jump right into our Athletes of the Week with the girls' honorable mentions from last week. Starting with softball, Dos Pueblos' Zella Cassidy went 5 for 9 with 3 doubles and 3 RBIs and 2 non-league wins. And girls' track and field, San Marcos' Samara Shalhoub took first place in the 1,600 meter and 3,200 meter races in a meet win over Pacifica. In girls swim, Kate's Emmy Conda Gleason took first and put new school records on the 100 butterfly and 100 breaststroke at the Foothill Tech Invitational, where Kate placed first. Santa Barbara High's Jules Horton and Elisa Hind each had 2 individual event wins and 2 relay wins in a Channel League meet against Ventura. In girls lacrosse, Dos Pueblos' Linnea Klipinski had 13 combined goals in league games against Thatcher and San Marcos. And in girls beach volleyball, Bishop Diego's Sophie Audie and Winter Thorne Thompson won the Tri-Valley League Individual Pairs Championship. And that brings us to this week's Girls Athlete of the Week. We have 2 this week from San Marcos Girls Beach Volleyball to Cora Loomer and Evan Miller. San Marcos' top pairings had a standout season up to this point, including last week when they went 6-0 and won the Channel League Individual Pairs Championship. Cora and Evan went undefeated in Channel League play all season long to lead the Royals to a league title and an undefeated league season of their own for the 3rd consecutive year. Congratulations, Cora and Evan. All right, now into the boys' honorable mentions. We'll start with baseball. Dos Pueblos' Liam Shea allowed 1 run on 3 hits and struck out 5 in a complete game in a 6-2 win over Santa Barbara. San Marcos' Quinn Milton went 5 for 10 with 3 homers, 5 RBIs, and 4 runs scored in 3 games last week. And Bishop Diego's JJ Mercier went 4 for 8 with 4 RBIs and through 6 2/3 inning in a series sweep of Dunn. In boys volleyball, we have 3 honorable mentions from Santa Barbara High. Christian Dibdahl had 32 combined kills in Channel League wins over Ventura and Dos Pueblos. Hayes Costner had 35 combined kills in those 2 wins, and Maddox Denver combined for 89 assists. He facilitated that offense in those 2 wins. And at Carpinteria High boys volleyball, Rafael Cintura combined for 58 bigs and 17 kills in 2 league wins over Channel Islands and Nordhoff. And that brings us to this week's Boys Athlete of the Week. From Dos Pueblos Track and Fields, Cullen Gully. Cullen had a big performance for the Chargers at the Mount Sac Relays this weekend. He began the weekend by placing 3rd in his heat in the mile race with a time of 4:13. And then he followed it up by finishing the 800 meter race in 1:54 to break a 54-year-old school record at Dos Pueblos. Congratulations. And then just a quick reminder to coaches, if you have Athlete of the Week nominations, be sure to send them into sports@newshawk.com by Saturday if possible. Thank you.
All right, so next we're going to get into our Scholar Athlete of the Year. This award we're going to recognize our Scholar Athlete from Santa Barbara City College. This award, by the way, is sponsored by Merrill Lynch, the Gambardella Rule Group. And it's my honor to bring up Luke Steinert from Santa Barbara City College. And while he makes his way up here, usually what we do is we get a bio from the athlete that tells us all about their achievements. But today we're lucky enough to have his coach, Bridget Coolish, up here to recognize and tell us a little bit about Luke. Luke's also joined by his parents, Todd and Nicole, as well as his athletic director, Ladine Hanston. Also our coordinator of student success, Michael Gamboa, and academics coordinator, Joanne Graham. So I'm going to bring up Bridget to talk a little bit about Luke.
Hi, my name is Bridget Coolish. As he said, I'm the head men's volleyball coach at Santa Barbara City College. I'm honored to present the SBART Scholar Athlete Award to one of my players, Luke. Luke will be attending UCSB in the fall and currently has a 4.0 GPA at Santa Barbara City College. Luke has been an integral part of our program's success for the past 2 seasons. Last year, he finished with the 4th highest single season dig total in SBCC history. This season, he's already surpassed that mark, and we're still in the middle of playoffs, so we're hoping that he continues to break records. This season, we were crowned Northern Region champions, our program's first conference win and championship since 2005, and most wins for SBCC since 1990. Luke is one of our captains and has fully embraced this role. As a libero, he's responsible for the first touch and serves as the general of our backcourt. He's not always in the most visible leadership position. He's not the setter running the offense or the hitter earning the spotlight, but both of those roles depend on the consistency and reliability of the libero. Luke leads through his composure in high pressure situations, his commitment to holding both himself and his teammates to a high standard, and his ability to bring energy and clarity when our team needs it most, even delivering the occasional inspirational speech during timeouts. As we head back to the state semifinals this Thursday, Luke stands out as one of the hungriest and most driven players on the court. I'm incredibly excited to see him compete, and hopefully we come back with a state championship. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for this award. I wanted to shout out my coaches, teammates, and my dad, and the whole SBCC faculty, and I wouldn't be here without you guys. Go Backs.
All right, one more round of applause for Luke. Okay, so next we're going to get into our coaches reports, sponsored by Carp Physio. We've got a little bit of a lighter group today, so feel free to go a little over your normal 2 minutes, and we'll. And besides, Ladine's sitting in the back anyways. She's usually the one who gives the tap of the glass, so you're safe today. First, we're going to welcome up Santa Barbara High School baseball coach Holgan, followed by San Marcos High School softball coach Dietz.
First off, I just want to say thank you to Roundtable for having us. It's an honor to be here. With me today, I brought Jack Paskin and James King. James King is a senior, and he's been our 3 and 4 hitter throughout the year. Situations don't seem too big for him, does really well, whether he's in the 3rd spot, 4th spot, comes down every day ready to work. It's an honor to have him. We've had James in the program since he was a freshman, so seeing him grow has been tremendous. Not only on the field, but attitude and everything, leadership. It's a real honor to have King. James is hitting .339 with 12 RBIs. Quality at bats is 53%. Our goal as a team is 50% per individual, so he's surpassed that. And James is just scratching the surface of his baseball potential. He'll be attending San Diego State University in the fall and majoring in kinesiology. The next one is Jack. Due to injury in the beginning of the year, Jack was slotted to be our 3rd pitcher, and Jack has taken the role as our number 1 and has succeeded tremendously. As a sophomore, it's great to see him with the poise and attitude that he brings on the mound. Guys love playing behind him. They give their all for him. His leadership is just going to continue to grow. I can't wait to see what the future holds for him on the diamond. He has a 3.7 ERA, has twice as many strikeouts to walks, and he's kept us in every single game that he's pitched. His record should be a little bit better than what it is, lack of our offense. So, we always tell Jackie, hey, offense will start coming. You just keep grinding, and he has. So I thank both of you guys for what you guys have done this season. This week, we come up with Buena. It's a real big week for us as we're trying to fight for a playoff spot. We're coming down to the nitty gritty. So we got Buena this week, San Marcos next. So see you guys out there. Thank you.
All right, next we're going to bring up Coach Dietz, San Marcos softball, followed by Carpinteria softball, Coach Nelson.
Okay, thank you Roundtable for having us. Good to see everyone again. This last week we had a really huge win Tuesday in 10 innings against Oxnard, 7-6. We were up 6-1 going into the 3rd inning, and they kind of clawed their way back. We were able to stay strong, and in the top of the 10th, catcher Satara Raring hit a ball up the middle for us, and we were able to hold them off. So I don't remember the last time. It's been years, I would say, in our program since we've beaten Oxnard. They've always been a very strong program, strong team, so that was a really big win for us. We knew they were going to answer back strong, and they definitely did on Friday. We dropped that rematch 1-13. But moving on from that, this week is senior week for us. Senior day is tomorrow at our field, so I thought no better time to recognize our 4 seniors who have meant so much to our program over the last 4 years. And it also gives me a good opportunity to practice talking about them in public without crying. So that was my thought for this. It's very true. Okay. Over the last 4 years, these girls, these athletes, have shown up day in and day out with effort and commitment and truly just the want to make our teams and our programs better. They've put in the extra work when no one's watching. They've pushed through a lot of different challenges. They continuously look for ways to grow, not just as players, but as teammates and leaders. And I love each of them very much, and I'm going to give you a little talk about each 4 right now. Okay, senior captain Solana Sandoval. Sully has been a 4-year starter, she should have been a 4-year starter for us. She's been a 4-year player for us. She started since her sophomore year. She is currently leading our team in batting average with a .457, 4 home runs so far this season, and a lot more, I think, to go. She's been a rock in our infield at third base, and I think the biggest thing about Solana is that she loves the game so much, and she loves to compete, and that just kind of shines through in everything she does. And she will be continuing her academic and athletic career next year at Cal State Monterey Bay, and we're very proud of her. Should I go in order of what you're standing? Sure. Okay, Reese Large then is another senior captain for us. Reese has worked so hard to earn a spot on varsity, and she's made a huge impact with her time on our team. Currently this year she's hitting .365. She makes a lot of plays for us at first base with her long stretch. As hard as she works on the field for us, she works just as hard off of the field. She has a 4.8 GPA. She's going to be attending UCLA next year, majoring in history, which as a history teacher I love. And she's also on the pre-law track, so essentially Reese Large is going to run the world someday. So remember her. Okay, he's like, yeah, Reese Large. Okay, Jess Vega. Jess is another 4-year varsity player for us. She's led our outfield. She covers a lot of ground for us in center field. She's had some big hits for us throughout her career. She's had a lot of big plays for us. She has, I think, the only 8-3 put out I think I've ever seen in memory, which is really hard in baseball or softball to do, to throw a girl out at first base from center field. So I lost my spot here, I apologize. She just holds herself and her team to a really high standard, and she has this ability she shows her emotion, and I think every team needs that. She's our spark, she's our fire a lot of times. She gets competitive and she gets pissed, and I love it, because that is how I was as a player as well. And we wish her all the best next year at City College. Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna cry. Okay. Lastly, we have senior infielder Cece Contreras. Cece's career within our softball program always seems to be cut short every season for various unfortunate reasons. It could be a concussion, it could be a dislocated knee, it could be a broken thumb mid at bat. Like, just everything seems to happen to Cece. And every time she's able to just kind of work her way back in, something else happens. But regardless of all of that, she shows up to practice every day. She does everything she can to work on whatever she can to improve. She's always ready for an opportunity. She's always ready for her next chance. And more than that, she's just the best teammate I truly have ever seen. Yes, clap for yourself. No, she is our positive spark in the dugout. She's willing to support and scream and yell and bark at anyone, and we love her. We love Cece so much. So I appreciate you all. I'll talk more about you tomorrow. Tomorrow, senior day, weather permitting, 3:30 against Pacifica. Yay! Oh, sorry, ceremony starts at 3.
Good luck. Someone just filled me in on what the goggles are for, so good luck with that as well. Okay, so next we're going to bring up Carpinteria softball, Coach Nelson, followed by San Marcos baseball, volleyball, tennis, and golf, Aaron Solis.
It's fine. I'm doing all of you guys, but I'll do softball first. Sorry. Thank you, Roundtable, for having us today in Carpinteria. I'm responsible today to talk about 3 of our programs. So first of all, I will be talking about softball, which is what I'm the head coach of and responsible for. We haven't been having the best of luck this year, but my girls fight. And I will cry, so I'm not gonna go there. We have 2 representing from softball today, Sophia Santana and Jamaica Cook. Both are seniors and play the center of the field. Sophia Santana is our Golden Glove in charge of the outfield, and she bats first for us, has the highest base percentage and the scoring of the most runs. Jamaica Cook is also a senior and the only pitcher for our team, so we have to depend on her all the time. She has a 5.3 ERA and bats cleanup with a 883 batting average. I didn't have much time to write all this stuff up, so. Upcoming in the CCL contest on Thursday, we visit Channel Islands, and we're seeking a win to even up the score. And then we have a couple more league contests with the fight to the finish. So that's softball. I have representatives from baseball. We have Dallas Bartholic, Jonah Hernandez. Baseball Warriors are 12-5 and coming off an important split with CCL Power Santa Paula. 2 representatives from the baseball team are Dallas and Jonah. Both players are pitchers, both play in the middle of the diamond, and both are offensive leaders. Dallas has 4 wins and 7 starts. He plays center field and bats in the top 4 in the lineup with the team leading 27 RBIs. And Jonah has 4 wins. He plays shortstop, and he's the leadoff batter with the team high of a 550 batting average. The Warriors are vying for a playoff spot in the Citrus Coast League with 2 weeks to go. This week, the Warriors play a 2-game set with the Malibu Sharks, beginning at home on Wednesday. So, thank you, baseball. Tennis. Carpinteria boys tennis team will be finishing up their league, non-league, and Citrus Coast League season this week with competitions against Simi Valley, Nordhoff in the first place showdown against Malibu. A lot of our success has come from the play of the singles player Cameron Dadvar.
Yes.
And doubles player Hayden Nordholm. Hayden, a junior, has overcome a few injury setbacks these past 2 seasons, but really seems to be hitting on all cylinders now. Just in time for the final stretch of the season. He has become a stable influence on the doubles players and is someone the team can count on with his solid ground strokes and just his mentorship to the younger players. He's involved in the engineering and interactive clubs on campus and carries a 4.0 GPA. Cameron, a senior, is easily one of our most improved players over the past few seasons. He has developed in a very reliable single starter, gaining some big wins on the season. His mental game has also taken big strides. Cameron does whatever he can to make the team stronger and will his way to wins. He carries a whopping 4.7 GPA and engages in the engineering, MESA, and GSA clubs on campus, and will be attending UC San Diego to study nano engineering in the fall. Thank you again.
Thank you, everybody.
In case it's not evident, coaches do care a lot about their players. So let's give all our coaches a round of applause. Okay, so next we're going to bring up Athletic Director Aaron Solis for a report on everything else. And athletic directors do a lot too, so let's give him a round of applause.
And since we have a lot of time, I'm going to do a 30-minute impromptu speech on
Well,
what
I
is
have a
right
PowerPoint
and
ready.
what is wrong with high school sports. So high school sports. By the way, those flag football moves of your kid, spot on, spot on. We've had a lot of kids missing class lately because of testing schedules and tournaments and all that. So I'm just going to give some updates for a few sports. First, boys tennis. They have completed their regular season. They finished third in the Channel League, so they will be in CIF playoffs. We'll know towards the end of next week what division and who they're going to be playing. They just came back from a trip down to San Diego where they played San Dieguito Academy in a doubles tournament match, and then lost against San Clemente 10-8 in a close non-league matchup. Doubles team of Nico Hove and Levi Reese swept against San Clemente, so that was a highlight. They start Channel League individuals next Monday. It'll be at Oxnard High School, and then the semifinals and finals will be at Santa Barbara High a week from tomorrow, next Tuesday. Baseball is 8-2 in league after sweeping Oxnard last week. Got great pitching in the first matchup on Tuesday from David Burkholder and Miles Herbert. And then on Friday, got great hitting. Quinn Melton hit a 2-run home run. Mason Crane hit a 3-run home run. So that's what they're going to need because the Channel League race is extremely tight. We have 2 huge games this week against Pacifica. They are at Pacifica on Tuesday, and like Coach Deed said, well, hopefully the rain stays away because you know how that messes up baseball's pitching rotations. And then we'll be home against Pacifica on Friday. Golf, played Santa Barbara and Coach Throop last Thursday at Sandpiper. You know, we stepped up and needed what we need to do. We still have a couple of matches this week as we're hoping for a Channel League title. Some player mentions, freshman Nate Duva shot a 73 in that match. He's had some struggles lately, so now he's starting to come back into form. He's been an important component of the team all season, and it was great to see him come back into that form because we're really going to need him going into CIF. And then also sophomore Adam Cabaretti had a counting score of 81. He's a sophomore, has contributed for us this year and last year, and he's very important for that depth and can always be counted on to put out his best effort and do anything needed to help the team. Like I said, we have 2 matches this week, and then next Monday and Tuesday, right, Coach? We'll be down at River Ridge, Victoria Lakes course for the Channel League tournament. And then finally, boys volleyball, huge match tomorrow night in the Thunder Hut against Santa Barbara. We have clinched at least a tie for the Channel League title, but as you know, even though we all like to share, that's the one thing you don't want to share is a league title. So, and we know Santa Barbara is going to be gunning for us. So it's going to be a very, very exciting match. It's also important for us because we're currently ranked 7th in Division I, and we would like to win that match and remain in the top division of boys volleyball, just like our girls beach team. But Coach Loomer will talk more about that in a second as CIF playoffs actually start this week. So who knew, it's already CIF time. So thank you very much for all the sponsors in the roundtable. And Emily, see, impromptu speaking, it was important to do that in class, right? See, there we go.
All right, next we're going to get a report from San Marcos Beach, Coach Loomer, followed by Santa Barbara Golf, Coach Throop.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very appreciative to the Santa Barbara Roundtable and the lunch. Those quesadillas are just amazing. My daughter told me about that, and I'm like, I got to try the quesadillas today, and it was awesome. So grateful too for the restaurant. Yeah, it's been a really fun season. We had 16 seniors on the team this year, and I thought maybe it'd be fun to bring all 16, and I asked Solis for a vehicle, and he's all, we don't have one big enough. I'm just kidding, we didn't ask him. But it has been a lot of fun to have 16 seniors on the team, and it's been fun to watch them through the season. I was worried a little bit about senioritis when you have that much senior leadership. Is senioritis going to set in? And they've been really locked in and competitive the whole season. As you heard, we had the Channel League Pairs tournament last week. We entered 4 teams. All 4 of those teams took first place in their pools, which then meant that we had 4 of the top 8 teams in the Channel League that were represented in the playoff bracket. And then we were fortunate to have Cora and Evan, who were here a little bit earlier. And then Paige Hoadley and Shar Hastings took second. So we actually took first and second in the Channel League Pairs tournament, which in the 4 years that we've done it, I guess hasn't been done before. So it was fun for them to have that level of success. We do have coming up here, as you heard, we're playing Los Alamitos. They're ranked number 5 in CIF. We're ranked number 4 in Division 1, so they'll be coming up on Thursday. I was so glad to get the warning about the rain tomorrow. I'm like, I've got to have a practice, and it can't rain for beach volleyball. So hopefully the rain will stay off. We can have a good practice tomorrow, good practice on Wednesday, and be prepared for Los Alamitos. If we make it past them, we'll be into the semifinals, and we'll see how we do, but we want to make sure we take care of business first. So it's going to be a really fun and competitive match at San Marcos on Thursday. We're doing it at 3 p.m. So thanks again. Have a great day.
All right, now we have Santa Barbara Golf, Coach Throop, followed by Sports Information Director Eric Boos for All Sports UCSB.
Hi, my name is Ryan Throop, Boys Golf, Santa Barbara High, and I brought 2 players with me today, senior Alex Ortega and junior Tyler Satterberg. Alex Ortega is a fourth year starter at Santa Barbara High. He's 10-time medalist out of 12 matches this year. His low score is a 67 at Sandpiper and at Buenaventura. He's 89th in CIF out of 3,000 and something golfers. He's 21st in birdies. He's in the top 1,000 nationwide. He probably has the best touch around the greens on our team. Probably the best putter that I've seen in a while. And he has a 4.1 GPA. He'll be attending Santa Barbara City College, and they will be very lucky to have him on the team. The second player I brought is junior Tyler Satterberg. He is he's been on the team 3 years. He is driving the ball a lot further than he did freshman year. His low is a 71 against Ventura last week. He's a 4-point-a-lot GPA. He, I think, enjoys computer science. Doesn't know where he'd like to attend college, but he may join his brother at Dartmouth. We'll see. These 2 guys are very crucial to our team, not just score-wise, but as examples. They usually do the right thing. Actually, I'd say they always have done the right thing, at least from what I've seen. Our team's 11-2. We're 4-1 in league. That other team across town beat us last week, but that's okay. Tomorrow we play Pacifica. I think the rain's staying away down in Oxnard, only like 0.1 of an inch, according to those people upstairs. And we play an important match on Thursday against DP. Last time we played, the difference was 1 shot. So, looking forward to individuals next week on Monday, and I think we've got a few players that can go a little bit farther in CIF. So, thanks again for having us.
Crazy good high school golfers.
All right, now we're going to get a report from UCSB All Sports, Sports Information Director Eric Boos, followed by Dos Pueblos Track, Coach Garcia.
Thank you, Roundtable. Always a pleasure to be included in these events. It's conference championship time for a good number of our teams, so I'll start there. Both our men's and women's tennis teams finished as Big West regular season champions and will have the number 1 seed for their conference tournaments, which means both of them get to skip straight to the semifinals, which is great. They will both our men and women start that tournament at 10 a.m. on Friday down in San Diego. Men's volleyball finished as the number 4 seed in the Big West after beating UC San Diego on the road this weekend. We'll get to play UC San Diego again in the opening round of the conference championship. That is Thursday at 5 p.m. down in Irvine. And then our men's golf team finished up their regular season by winning the Gaucho Invitational a couple weekends ago. Always fun to win your own tournament. So they'll take that momentum into the Big West Championship, which is not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, starting May 3rd down at La Quinta Country Club. Moving over to our diamond sports and starting with softball, the Gauchos are 16-5 in Big West play, 3 games back out of first place with 2 weekends to go. We swept CSUN at home this past weekend with just a ton of great pitching. It was a huge pitching weekend, capped off by Ainsley Waddell throwing a 1-hit complete game shutout in a 1-0 win on Sunday to cap off the sweep there. We'll hit the road to play UC Davis this weekend, and then our final series of the year is at home May 1st and 2nd, and we're taking on Cal State Fullerton. They're currently in first place, 3 games ahead of us, so if we both stay the course, that is a potential conference championship decider there. And then to round things out with baseball, Gauchos are 12-6 in Big West play and are in first place after winning our series at UC Irvine over the weekend. It was the first time we've won a series against the Anteaters since 2022, so great to get that under our belts and move up into first place in the conference standing. Outfielder Colin Bezizzo had a great week, both at the plate and with the glove. He had a double and a triple to finish a home run shy of the cycle on Sunday. He also made a crazy catch in foul ground, reaching up against the bullpen fence for an out there. But his best catch of the week was actually this past Tuesday down at UCLA. Made a full-out Superman dive to take away what would have been a bases-clearing double in what ended up being a shutout 4-0 win for us over number 1 UCLA on the road. The guys are in Riverside tonight, taking on Cal Baptist. Then we'll be home to host Cal State Fullerton this weekend, and we host number 1 UCLA at our place next Tuesday, so a week from tomorrow, 4:30 p.m., looking to complete a season sweep of the Bruins. Thank you, guys.
All right, now we're going to finish up with a report from Coach Garcia, Dos Pueblos track.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Rosina Garcia, the head track and field coach at Dos Pueblos. No one told me that when I signed my name up there, that meant I had to talk. But happy to be here and to represent DP. We've had an outstanding season, and this is my first season as head coach. I was hired the week before practice started in January, so did not really know who or what I was inheriting, but I am really grateful to have worked with these athletes. We've had a great season, sweeping Rio Mesa. We swept Oxnard, Santa Barbara High School, and we've been able to attend some really competitive meets, Stanford Invite, Arcadia Invite, which is the most competitive invite for high school students in the nation. Olympians race there. Quincy Wilson, who is the youngest gold medalist ever, competed there, and it was really cool to bring some of our athletes like Colin up there, or down there actually. We've set so many school records this year. The boys distance medley relay, boys 4x1600, the boys 1600, boys 800, girls 4x100 set a record, but then we're disqualified, but we can talk about that later. They'll set it again though, they'll hit that time again. We have county championships coming up this Saturday at Rigetti High School, and league finals next Thursday at Oxnard. And do want to recognize Colin real quick. He broke a 45-year-old school record in the 800 this past weekend at the Mount Sac Relays, running 154.13, which is over a 3-second improvement from last year's time. And just to give you a little bit of context, that's like cutting off an hour in a marathon. So to improve by 3 seconds is a huge deal. Last year, Colin made it all the way to the CIF Masters meet, and for track, it's a lot of back-to-back meets from league finals, CIF prelims, CIF finals, CIF Masters to get all the way to the state meet, and Colin made it to Masters, which is an incredible feat. Clap. And I have no doubt he'll do it again this season. So thank you all, and congrats to Colin.
All right. We're going to get into our cookie raffle next. So this is in honor of our former and late friend Mike Warren.